tonight.
In your test.
In your test, yeah. You have to go
in
your Gimel. And tomorrow you're going through Zion in Chaf.
Okay, you're right. We'll do a couple tonight. That's a good idea. Okay. Yud Aleph. Yeah, continuing with Rosh Chodesh. This, I got this Shaila today. I can't even count how many times I got this Shaila today. In Yud Aleph. If you forgot on Rosh Chodesh or on Chol Hamoed, Ya'aleh v'Yaveh and Shachris. Even though you didn't remember about that, you forgot Ya'aleh v'Yaveh Shachris until after you done Musaf. Where you, meaning either you mentioned Rosh Chodesh or on Chol Hamoed you mentioned Chol Hamoed. You have to go back and daven Shachris, like we learned yesterday, that when you forget Ya'aleh v'Yaveh, it's as if you didn't daven, so you have to go back. And if you forgot about it, you are mashim and tfilas mincha. That's the way the Kitzur paskins. That's the pashat psak. But the Magen Avraham brings a shita that says that you do not go back to Shachris. Why? Because once you mentioned that it's Rosh Chodesh, which you did in Musaf, so then there's no reason to go back to Shachris. Right? And because of this, so the psak that the Mishnah Berurah says is that you go back and daven Shachris again, but with a Tanai. And the Tanai says, if you have to daven again, so then you're davening again. And if you don't have to daven again, then you're davening as a Nedava. So hopefully this won't be Nagaya to anybody tomorrow, but that's the big tumult about this din. Okay? So, but the kids are passing straight up. You have to daven again. Yud Beis, meaning if you step back Yishman Esrei, and then you realize, whoops, I forgot Ya'aleh v'Yaveh, so you can't go right back into it. You have to wait enough time to walk Dalet Amos, which is really not long. And he brings in the footnote. So should you say Baruch Shem Kvod Malchusay L'Olam Ved? That's what we learned a couple of weeks ago, that if you mention Hashem's name in vain, so you say Baruch Shem Kvod Malchusay L'Olam Ved. So you're supposed to do that here? So he says no, because it is not considered a batala. You didn't daven the proper davening, so you have to repeat it, but it's not considered bracha levatolas. And you don't have to say Hashem Sosa Tiftach either, because it's considered all part of your original davening. Let's say the Chazan made a mistake. He does not go daven a second time. Why? Because the tzibur is going to have to wait for him. He relies on the tefillah that he says out loud. So if the Chazan is going to be relying on that, then he should say Elikai Nitzar after he's finished Chazoras Hashatz, which is a little difficult to do because there's no Tachnun. So I'm not sure when he's supposed to do that. But if he made a mistake in the first three brachas, meaning for Murda Atol, Mashurach, and Murda Goshem, and he remembered before he finishes his davening, where it's not going to be such a tircha, so then he should go back. Yachsav Yisrael should go back.
What is a Lekainitzar?
What is it? It's extra tefillas.
What is it punishment or is it not punishment?
No, it is not. It's really not. But if you say you l'ratzon, if you say the second, meaning it's not part of it, but it's additions to Shemon Esrei. So therefore, until you say the you l'ratzon, or until you have in your head that you're not saying any more tefillas, so then it's still considered as if you're in the middle of Shemon Esrei.
So why you have to say the mice? Why was the Chazan to say the second time? Maybe say it later.
You're right. That's true. You're right. I don't know. I hear that title. Why do you have to say it for? I never heard of anybody doing this, but then again, nobody really ever announces to people that he forgot.
It's probably Tzibur also anyway.
Right. No, I thought maybe after he says the Ois Shalom before Aleinu, maybe he says it himself. I'm not sure. I hear. Okay, Yudal. B'yom Ataynis, Bein B'Taynis Sirah, Bein B'Taynis Yochid. I remember tefillas amincha v'berich Shema Kalenu anenu. Ukshmagil v'cholei tzara v'tzuka. And when you hit cholei tzara v'tzuka, those words Yisam ki ato shemea. If you forgot Aninu, if you didn't remember until you finished saying Baruch Atah Hashem Shemei Tefillah, you don't go back. At the end of the kind of tzar, before you step back, and you don't obviously you don't say Baruch Atah Hashem. We're saying you l'ratzon. And if you didn't remember until you were your feet, you don't say it at all, which I'm not sure why not. Just say it. What's the big deal? Why can't you say it? What's the loss? Right? And then also, I was wondering if you forgot Yalav Yavai, so we don't say you have the option to say it, let's say at night. During the day, you have to go back to Shemana Esrei, but at night, it doesn't give you an option to say it before you l'ratzon. Okay, that's the end of today's, but you're right, Naftali, it's very long tomorrow, so then let's start at least one or two. So Siman Chaf, Din Chazoras Tefillah Shliach Tzibur Uba Yud Beis Seifim.
You did one for tomorrow already. Your dal was tomorrow already.
You serious?
Yes.
What's a pshat?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, so let's just continue. So, Aleph, Kishapesei Shliach Tzibur Mitfila Bela Kishapesei Shliach Tzibur Mitfila Shabalachash. A lot of Chazanim don't know this. Then, when you take the 3 steps back from your silent Shemana Esrei, Oimid b'Mekayma Kashir Hiluch Arba Amos. You stand in the place, the amount of time it takes to walk 4 Amos, and then you go back to his place. Meaning the Chazan should not be taking a stroll when waiting for Chazor Hashatz. V'Omer b'Lachash Hasem Sfosai Tiftach. You say it in a whisper, even though there are those that say it loud. And everybody has to be careful to be quiet, and to listen well, to be mechaven to what the Chazan is saying. Anybody do this? You don't have to answer. Meaning you don't have to answer whether you do this or not. I don't know if I ever did this in my life. I don't say that with pride. I'll call bracha karoi. You say Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai and Amen on every bracha the way it's supposed to be. Even to learn, you're not allowed to. However, there are shittas that say that you're allowed to learn if you don't verbalize. So for those that do learn, there is a Myra Heter for them, but it's really not the accepted psak. Because the Shulchan Aruch says you're not allowed. Right? Of course, if you're not allowed to learn, then it goes without saying that you're not allowed to have idle talk. And if it's easy for somebody, what he should do is he should stand as if he himself is davening Shemana Esrei. Or with closed eyes, or to follow along the siddur. What the Shliach Tzibur says. Ksas, I mean, that would be the ultimate, which you see Chashuvim do that. But it's not, doesn't seem to be what people do. Now, the reason why you have Tzadim to be Mekel nowadays is because the Chazor Hashatz is meaningless, Ba'atzem. We only have Chazor Hashatz nowadays because that's the minig, right? But it was really instituted when you had people that didn't know how to daven, which Baruch Hashem we don't have anymore nowadays. So really, it's just a minig. So that's where you get into the making the like yeshivas do. They have what they call Haicha Kedusha, and why people think that there's more of a heter to learn, etc. There are those that they figure they use the time of Chazor Hashatz to switch from Tefillin Shel Rashi to Tefillin Shel Rabbeinu Tam. That is not the proper thing to do, right? Because you shouldn't be busy with other things when during Chazor Hashatz. I always end up cleaning my glasses during Chazor Hashatz. Probably also not the right thing to do. I figure sitting around and listening, I might as well clean my glasses, but probably also not the right thing to do. All right, short and sweet. Everybody should have a good night and a good Chodesh.